What happens when the most powerful luxury conglomerate in the world gets dethroned by its own former target? When a designer leaves one iconic house only to take over another? And when toys become the new it bags? Welcome to 2025, where fashion is rewriting its own rules. Hermes briefly surpassed LVMH in market capitalization, reaching 243.65 billion, making it the world's most valuable luxury company. This shift happened as LVMH reported a 3% drop in sales in the first quarter of 2025, driven by slowing demand in China and the US. Hermes controlled distribution, unwavering commitment to craftsmanship and scarcity-driven models solidified its hold on the top spot, showing that quiet power is often the loudest. In the middle of this, Jonathan Anderson was announced as the new artistic director of Dior men's collections, leaving his 11-year post at Loewe. His appointment comes as LVMH scrambles to re-energize Dior's menswear division after Kim Jones' departure. Anderson's first collection is expected to debut next year, and insiders predict a bold shift for the house. The Chinese factory scandal took over social media after a viral TikTok claimed a $38,000 Hermes Birkin bag costs just $1,400 to produce in China, breaking down leather, hardware, and labor costs. While Hermes firmly denies it and states their bags are primarily made in France, the controversy sparked major conversations about transparency, pricing, and the global manufacturing web behind luxury brands. The timing couldn't have been worse, considering Hermes's market surge and LVMH's drop. The industry also faced an identity crisis this month. Conversations around womanhood in fashion resurfaced as runways showed an alarming drop in size diversity to just 0.3%. Alongside this, a wave of conservative tradwife aesthetics trended on social media. Brands like Di Pezza and Caroline Vitto pushed back, reminding fashion that genuine inclusivity isn't optional. Another unexpected headline: toys are officially fashion's hottest accessories. Labubu, Jellycat plushies and Crybaby figurines are selling out globally, with resale prices hitting hundreds. It's part nostalgia, part rebellion, part kidult culture. A moment where fashion isn't afraid to soften its edges and embrace sentimentality. Fashion Revolution's Mend in Public Day also gained global attention, encouraging consumers to repair their clothes in public spaces as a protest against fast fashion and a revival of sustainability through craftsmanship. And behind the scenes, the creator economy continues to reshape itself. With over 50 million influencers worldwide, brands are no longer just paying for posts, but offering equity stakes and deeper partnerships. TikTok and Instagram remain king, but creators are aggressively diversifying income streams as brand loyalty fractures. 2025 has been shifts, power plays, and surprises in the fashion industry. These moves aren't surface level. They're reshaping the foundation of luxury, influence, and culture as we know it. For more insider reports, deeper breakdowns, and real fashion talk, follow us on Instagram at GTWJMag. And it doesn't stop there. As LVMH battles to maintain momentum, luxury resale platforms have quietly been thriving. The Real, Vestiaire Collective, and Collector Square reported record traffic in April, and it's no coincidence. With prices for brand new luxury bags continuing to skyrocket and questions swirling around where, how, and by whom these pieces are made, more buyers are turning to the secondary market. Not only for price, but for access to rare, discontinued, or impossible to get items like certain exotic skin Birkins, vintage Dior saddles, or archival Chanel jackets. Another key headline this month: Balenciaga officially opened its largest flagship ever, right in the heart of Shanghai. The move signals how luxury brands are still doubling down on China despite economic slowdowns and consumer criticism. The store, featuring immersive digital experiences and exclusive capsule collections, reminds us that despite the online scandals and viral factory exposés, China remains one of the luxury world's most vital markets. And speaking of viral, the conversation around quiet luxury still hasn't died down. But the aesthetic is evolving. Brands like The Row, Loro Piana, and Brunello Cucinelli saw a noticeable uptick in social media engagement, but consumers are beginning to demand substance behind the softness. Sustainability claims, origin transparency, and ethical labor practices are under tighter scrutiny than ever before. TikTok users dissected brand labels, interrogated price tags, and exposed greenwashing faster than many brands could react. Meanwhile, celebrity culture and fashion PR strategy shifted noticeably this month. Instead of stacking front rows at Fashion Week, celebrities and influencers leaned into stealth drops, appearing in unreleased items without announcing collaborations. It's a new tactic meant to spark speculation, increase exclusivity, and break the internet without a single press release. And one last thing before we wrap. This month's biggest conversation wasn't just about brands, it was about power. Who controls narrative in the luxury space? Is it the houses, the media, or the consumers? The Hermes factory discourse proved just how quickly public opinion can shift when the right information or misinformation reaches the right platforms. This is exactly what we cover here. Not surface level takes, not TikTok echo chambers, actual fact-based analysis on what's happening in fashion. If you want more of this, make sure you're following at GTWJ Mag on Instagram for breaking updates, exclusive deep dives, and what the industry's really talking about behind the scenes. Because as this month proved, luxury never sleeps, and neither do we. And now, let's get into the psychology behind what we just witnessed this month, because none of this is random. Luxury fashion isn't just about clothes or handbags, it's about status, identity, belonging, and power. And when a system built on exclusivity starts to feel a little too accessible, a little too exposed, or a little too questioned, the reaction is immediate. That's what we saw with the Chinese factory scandal. It wasn't just about where a bag was made, it was about what that information meant to people's identity. Because for luxury buyers, a Birkin isn't just a bag, it's a symbol. It communicates wealth, connections, taste, and access to an inner circle. When people found out that even some luxury production might be subcontracted, it felt like the illusion cracked. And psychologically, humans protect what validates them. That's why some rushed to deny it, some used it to justify their dislike for luxury culture, and others, especially within the industry, weren't even fazed because they've always known how global luxury supply chains actually work. There's also something called the scarcity principle at play. People value things more when they believe they're rare or hard to access. Hermes has built an entire business model around this. Limited production, controlled wait lists, and a selective sales process make customers feel lucky, chosen, and superior when they finally secure a Birkin or Kelly. That emotional high can override logical pricing concerns, and that's by design. Then there's the in-group versus out-group dynamic. People who don't engage with luxury often look for moments like this to reaffirm their identity as above materialism or wiser than those who spend on luxury items. It's a psychological coping mechanism. And for those inside the luxury world, defending it isn't just about handbags. It's about protecting a community, a lifestyle, and a marker of personal success. And when we talk about power in fashion, this month showed us it's no longer exclusively held by brands. Consumers, content creators, and viral moments now shape narratives at speeds even the biggest conglomerates can't always control. But at the same time, while the noise can be loud, true luxury customers aren't typically swayed by viral TikToks. Their buying decisions are driven by habit, investment value, and personal taste cultivated over years. That's why brands like Hermes and the Row continue to thrive, scandal or not. So what we're witnessing isn't the collapse of luxury, it's a recalibration. A reminder that in an era of endless information, the value of perception, exclusivity, and narrative control is more powerful than ever. And this is exactly why we do what we do here. At GTWJ Mag, we don't chase clicks. We unpack the psychology, the business strategy, and the real mechanics behind what makes the luxury world move. If you haven't already, follow us on Instagram at GTWJ Mag for even deeper breakdowns, fashion psychology threads, and insider recaps you won't get anywhere else. Because fashion isn't just what you wear, it's why you wear it, who you want to be when you wear it, and what it says about you when you don't.